being able to be a vessel in the progressive conversation that allows little black and brown kids to see themselves and see that impossible is possible. They can never go back to thinking, oh, I can't be a part of that, or that's imaginary. The standard is, I'm supposed to be there.
That's right.
And that is never going to change. You know what I mean?
Two people. I definitely want to bring in Mr. Terrific. His backstory is amazing, and then also Hawk Girl. Yeah.
Is that in the works? Is that in the plan?
I have no idea.
Heard it. I literally just heard it. I heard the whole thing in my trailer, and I've got to say, in all honesty, it's the biggest piece of dog shit that I have ever heard. Everyone's laughing, by the way, but it's true because everybody's heard it too. Everyone heard it, right? They look at all. Everyone's like, yeah, big piece of dog shit.
What's up? Make sure you like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell up above for future uploads, and check out the links posted in the description down below to support the channel. Thank you. What you've seen there are two clips of Aldis Hodge talking absolute nonsense, and another clip which accurately reflects how I feel about Aldis Hodge. This is a direct message to you, Aldis Hodge. You have no integrity. You have no integrity because when you have men out there, and I say men, like Ed Skrein, that decided to take up the role of Agent Daimyo in the Hellboy movie, and then when he was told, hey, you know this is an Asian character, right? He said, no, I didn't know that. Actually, as a matter of fact now, I'm going to resign from the role because I think the person who should be playing the character should actually look like the character. Resign from the role. Man with integrity. But what's starting to happen now, ever so more, is people are starting to look at who is accepting roles that are not meant for them, and who are taking up those roles and playing them and then making comments like you. You're going to see it with The Little Mermaid. Absolutely 100%. You're already seeing it. You've seen it previously with Zendaya playing Mary Jane Watson, or a variation as they like to say of it. Everybody knows what's going on there. You've seen it with the multiple women that have now played Iris West and Wally West also. That's not to mention the multiple other characters that are out there, particularly white, red-haired characters that have been swapped to a particular look. The Netflix adaptation, as most people are calling it now. And then you have this. You have a character in Gettr Hall, who through his long history in comic books has always been portrayed as a white character. In the two live-action appearances that he's had beforehand on Smallville and on Legends of Tomorrow, he's been a white character. But your goofball ass is after coming in here and saying, oh, I'm putting on the suit and I'm going to make a big difference. What people are going to look at when they look at you now, Aldis, is that you're someone that's happy with the race swapping and tokenization, the scraps off the plate, mate. That's what you're happy with. And then you full well know about a character like Mr. Terrific that actually looks like you, that you could have played. This is a character, by the way, that has been in the JSA. An important character, the third smartest man in the world, and features an abundance of powers and abilities, and you could have made slight alterations to those if you wanted to make them all that more cooler. As an aside, there's Cyclone there, as you can see, a white woman with red hair, and there's Hawkman there, again, a white character. There's Mr. Terrific. Now I know exactly what happened when they cast this movie. It's no surprise to me, by the way, when you see Pierce Brosnan being the clear favourite as Dr. Fate. But what happened was, I would say, and I'm only going to speculate on this one, that when the production team sat down and looked at the cast of characters, particularly the heroes, they realised, whoops guys, we're after including all white heroes here. Let's change a few of them up. Now you have big problems ahead, because some people out there will defend the decision of Aldis Hodge, as Hawkman would say, well, he could be reincarnated. And the original Hawkman, the original Prince Khufu, that's not going to be Aldis Hodge. Oh, I beg to disagree, because you know exactly what's going to happen there. You know exactly what they're going to do, because they've been pushing it for the last couple of years. The Kangs of Egypt. The pharaohs, of course, look like Aldis. Now, not only that, but you've got even more problems on your hands then if you decide to say he's from Tanagar. Because now what you're going to have, and you already do have it, are goofballs on Twitter that are saying, let's make all the Hawk people black. That's the beginning. And these people won't ever be satisfied, and that is the problem you now find yourself in. Do you know who the original two choices were to play Hawkman in this movie? I'll tell you. They were Alexander Skarsgård and Armie Hammer. Now, Armie Hammer is out of Hollywood at this stage, but Alexander Skarsgård would be a fantastic choice. What have you noted right now about those two guys? That's right, they're two white guys. The concept art, by the way, showed a white Hawkman and a white Cyclone, as depicted here in this art that has been fantastically portrayed for us for a very long time. And now they decided these goofballs that are in here now trying to dangle Superman in front of people, they've decided to change a long established character, actually should pluralise that, characters, to try and fit demographics and trying to slip this sort of stuff in unannounced. There's Mr. Terrific there. Now, I'm also going to make a claim here, and I'm going to say this because I didn't include a picture here of him, but I wanted to give a special shout out to Detective Crispus, also known as Crispus Allen. He's the second Spectre. He is also a character that you could have included in this movie. Would have worked out pretty well. But going back on Mr. Terrific that Aldis Hodge has mentioned, that's a character that's an intelligent character, possesses multiple abilities, has the ability to understand Kandak language, Kandak history, and would have been really well suited. And you wouldn't have to explain anything to do with him, because clearly from what I understand in the movie, very little, if anything, was actually explained in this movie. To me, hugely wasted opportunity, and it just goes to show that Aldis Hodge has no Lee Rhodey. He has no integrity. And what you've noticed over the last number of years are these people that come out and make statements like he's making absolute codswallop to try and make themselves feel better, because what they've decided to do is take the scraps off the plate. You're no Prince T'Challa, mate. And that's the difference. You look at characters like T'Challa, like Blade, characters that are being played by people that they were created for. And you have the gall to come out here and say you're making a big difference. What about people like me that's a big fan of Hawkman throughout all of his history, and then the moment he gets onto the big screen, then you've flipped him and changed him into something that he's completely not? Just to say it like this, if Jon Stewart's Green Lantern or Blade or any other character that was out there, like Cyborg for example, there are black characters, Jessica Cruz even, if you want to go as far as that, talking about other characters of different ethnicities. If these characters were changed, I'd be equally upset. But you know what's happening now, Aldis? People like me are starting to look at it and say, I tell you what, should take Blade. Cast Brad Pitt as Blade. Go on. Look at people like Cyborg. Do you know who you should cast at that? Cast some absolute goofball like Stephen Merchant or something like that as Cyborg. Go on. See what happens. And let them talk about it. You wouldn't like it the other way around. And that's the point. And nor should it happen. Especially when you've got long established characters that are there, that are to be utilised and should be utilised, rather than going out and giving this gumption about you being some sort of big man because you've decided to play a character that looks nothing like it. That's why Chadwick Boseman is beloved and why you won't be. Anyway, I'm going to leave the video there. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell up above for future uploads, and check out the links posted in the description down below to support the channel, and talk to you later. Good luck.